Hello Internet, AdoptedMike here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at this Icy Dock Hot Swap Backplane Module. This will allow you to hot swap hard drives basically from the front of a case. So it will install in two 5¼ inch bays, and then it will give access to three 3.5 inch hard drives, or 2.5 inch hard drives as well too. So anyway, this is the box that it comes in. Now let's take a closer look. Okay, so in the box we get screws, which obviously for mounting the unit itself, and then also securing hard drives or SSDs to the included tray system. We get the unit itself, and then we get an instruction manual. So now you could take a look at this thing. It's got a built-in 80mm fan, and then it's powered by two SATA power connectors there. And then on this side we can see where the fan plugs into, and there's also a 2-pin fan if you have a 2-pin fan header, and you were going to switch it out, or an additional fan, I guess, for that matter. You could do an additional fan, and I'm sure you could also do a Y cable here as well too, to wire up an additional fan. Here on the top we've got jumpers for the activity lights if we need to, as well as a light that if you have a hard drive in the device. There's the three top ones are access, and the three bottom ones are going to be for if like a notification if there's a drive in there, should you want to route that somewhere else in the case. Yeah, so this is, I mean, pretty sturdy construction. It feels worth the price that I paid, which was, I think, right around $70. Anyway, to access the sled, you just pull this little lever down, or this button down, and then this lever comes out, and then you can just extract the sled from here. The rails are metal, and the front here is plastic. It feels... This is aluminum. It feels sturdy. I mean, it doesn't flex at all. I believe I'm dealing with steel here, and then because the aluminum would flex a little more than this, but it feels very sturdy. And then obviously each one of these is going to be exactly the same, so you could just screw your drive in here from the side or from the bottom if it's a 2.5-inch drive, and then it would just slot back in here. There's a little rail system to allow it to slot back in there, and then taking a look in there, you can see down the I don't know, the little corridor there, I guess, for lack of better terms, and down into where the drives would actually mount and make a physical connection with the connector. So now the next thing to do is to install it into a system. So I'm going to actually be putting this into my personal Unraid server. That's why I bought it. I wanted some more expandability, and it had two open 5¼ inch bays on the front. So I thought this would be perfect. So anyway, let's get on with the install. Alright, so here is the innards of my Unraid server. This is it's a Dell server chassis. So I've installed it up here, and honestly, for most of you interested in a product like this, the installation part isn't going to be of any concern. But anyway, so I have it here with the SATA cables plugged into the motherboard, and then I just used a SATA Y power to get 2 points off of here. And like I said before, I'm not using any of the LED indicators that are on the other side of that 80mm fan, but I have it all connected in. So this was obviously the simple part. Dell has a little bit different of a mounting solution for their 5¼ bays, so I fixed it accordingly to get it secured into the system. So anyway, so this is a look of it installed. Honestly, like I said, pretty simple to install it. If you know what the device is, you already know what you're doing. So anyway, let's take a look at the operation of the device after it's powered on. Okay, so now we're going to go through the loading and unloading just for demonstration purposes. So basically, like before, you've got your hard drive on the sled, and it doesn't really matter where you put it, obviously, because you can even start it in the middle like I just did there, and the rail system will take it. Oop, actually, there we go, that's better. And then you just push it in. You can feel it make that physical connection, and then close the little handle there. So it snaps in, boom, done. And then the same again. There. And then if we needed to remove, say, this one, for example, just push this down, and then it comes out. And again, and that. Alright, so that's how easy it is really to swap the bays. Now I'm going to we'll reinstall them, and then I'm going to fire up the server. Right now I do have it off. I don't have it configured for hot swap, the motherboard, so I didn't want to have any issues with pulling and reinstalling drives while it was running. But now I can go in and enable hot swap. So anyway, let's fire it up and we'll take a look. Alright, so one thing I do want to point out first, before you actually can power it up, you've got to plug the machine in. I had it unplugged for the installation purposes, and anyway, now that I've got it plugged in, we can see our LCD lights on. Now I can actually fire it up. Alright, we'll wait for the fans to calm down a little bit, and then I will be back. Okay, so now we've got it powered up, and I have Unraid actually doing a pre-clear on these discs, so we can see the LED indicators are flickering every once in a while, just showing there's actually constant access. So, but anyway, yeah, it would normally be green, and now it's red, and it flickers every once in a while, just showing activity. So anyway, the device is working perfectly. FreeNAS did not, see anything wrong with it. The motherboard detected it. Obviously, it's just basically a SATA pass-through, or SATA pass-through. So the motherboard doesn't see this thing any different than as just 3 hard drives that would have been installed, say, even in the bays below this panel. So anyway, that gives us a good look at it. The fan noise is not any louder than the server itself, to my perception. It is moving air, and it does, it's an 80 mil fan. I'm sure there's better, and I'm sure there's worse for 80 mil fans, but I don't hear a noise, and I can feel some air being pulled in through here, so I feel confident that the drives are going to be fine. The only time will tell, obviously. Unraid, I almost said FreeNAS. Unraid monitors drive temperature, and these drives have been going for 15 minutes before I picked the video back up, and the temperatures are right in line with the temperatures in the bays below that have active cooling as well. So I would say this is a great product. The fan noise isn't loud, although if you wanted a more powerful fan, you could swap it out, but where I can feel air movement, I think that's good enough. The installation obviously is super easy. I feel the drive bays are sturdy. The reviews say the same thing online. I have seen some other ones with poor reviews about the caddy, so I feel good about the caddy being mostly steel. So anyway, that wraps up my look at this Icy Dock, and 2 5¼ to 3 3.5 inch hot swap backplane. So I appreciate any comments below, any questions. I'll try to answer them. And as always, thank you for watching.